Supreme Court set to end era of nationwide judicial injunctions. And I hope so. I hope that the Supreme Court agrees with the Constitution and not allow these district court judges and what have you go in and make nationwide injunctions. It's just totally ridiculous. It's totally by going around what the people voted for. We voted for Trump to come in and make these decisions. Why it's not right for a district judge to come in and say, no, I don't care that the people voted for this. I'm going to go in and do the exact opposite of what the people want because I'm an activist judge. It's just wrong. I hope the Supreme Court put an end to this. But before we get started, go ahead and hit that like button. Share this out so we can get this information out there. Subscribe if you're not already a subscriber, and hit that alarm bell so you know when I'm putting out new stuff. Also, check out my link tree in the description. It has a link to my Patreon. That's where I talk about things that I can't talk about here. There's also a link to my Instagram and my X account, so follow me there as well. All right, so let's get into this news. Now, this comes from PJ Media, and they report that the days of rogue district court judges hijacking executive authority may finally be numbered. On Thursday, the Supreme Court is set to hear arguments in a consolidated case, Trump v. Casa, which challenges lower court rulings that block President Trump's executive order ending birthright citizenship for children born in the U.S. to illegal immigrants. We all know, we call them anchor babies. We all know it is a loophole. It's how they come here illegally, have children, so they have a reason to stay. But despite the constitutional authority granted, the constitutional authority granted to the executive branch on immigration matters, 3 district judges issued sweeping nationwide injunctions halting the order. Again, it's granted. It explicitly talks in the Constitution that the executive branch have this authority. Now, the highest court may have the chance to rein in judicial overreach and restore balance between the branches of government. Again, like I was saying earlier, I hope so. I hope this does happen. But since President Trump began his second term, liberal judges have weaponized nationwide injunctions against his administration an astonishing 17 times in just the first few months. And that's only counting through late March 2025. This is nothing new, of course. They use lawfare to get to pass what they want because they know the American people don't agree with what they're doing. When I say they, I mean Democrats. The average American citizen overwhelmingly don't agree with what they're pushing, what they're selling. So what they do is they try to legislate through the judicial system. But even Newsweek seems to believe that the court will side with the Trump administration. They said in recent years, some justices have expressed criticism of universal injunctions. Justice Neil Gorsuch, one of the court's conservatives, argued in a 2020 concurrent opinion that injunctions are, quote, meant to redress the injuries sustained by a particular plaintiff in a particular lawsuit. He said the, quote, routine issuance of universal injunctions is patently unworkable, sowing chaos for litigants, the government, courts, and those affected by these conflicting decisions, and that the court must address them. He also noted that nationwide injunctions mean that plaintiffs can shop around for the judge that is most likely to be sympathetic to their cause. And that's exactly what the Democrats been doing. That's why you had, what's that judge? Starts with a B. I can never remember that scumbag name. But he had like 2 or 3 cases from Trump just happened to land on his desk, which makes no sense. You're not supposed to be able to do that. But, quote, because plaintiffs generally are not bound by adverse decisions in cases to which they are not a party, there is a nearly boundless opportunity to shop for a friendly forum to secure a win nationwide, Gorsuch wrote. Even Justice Alina Kagan, one of the court's 3 liberal justices, has criticized broad nationwide injunctions and the blatant judge shopping tactics used by plaintiffs to game the system. This shouldn't be a partisan issue because Joe Biden's outgoing Solicitor General Elizabeth Prelogar also filed a brief in December 2024 asking the Supreme Court to limit these broad orders despite knowing Trump would benefit from the decision. So it's not just Republicans that talked about this, Democrats as well. But, quote, in the Trump years, people used to go to the Northern District of California, and in the Biden years, they go to Texas, Kagan said in 2022. It just can't be right that one district judge can stop a nationwide policy in its track and leave it stopped for the years that it takes to go through the normal process. Yeah, it should be, only the Supreme Court really has a jurisdiction to do something like that. Let's be honest, nationwide injunctions were never about judicial oversight. They've been the left's go-to tool for blocking President Trump's agenda through activist judges. With just one ruling, any of the hundreds of district court judges in the country can nullify federal policy they don't like. Now the left is panicking. Without these judicial shortcuts, they'll have to argue their cases on the merits instead of in front of cherry-pick friendly judges. Even Vox admitted these injunctions were, quote, the core of the resistance. But that era may be ending. Hopefully, we got to pray tonight, y'all. The Supreme Court looks poised to rein in this abuse of power and restore constitutional balance. For anyone who believes in law, not lawfare, this moment can't come soon enough. Amen. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this. Do y'all think the judges are gonna vote in favor of the Constitution? You know, not letting these activist judges rule from the bench. Leave y'all comments down below. Like, share, and subscribe, and check out jjthepsychotherapist.com for the latest in news. Until next time, peace.